So I was having issues with when I would clean up intersections.
Mm-hmm.
But it wouldn't break that, so I'd have to end up drawing this line back. And when I did that, and I draw another line from here to wherever, oh, of course, it looks threaded, I don't care, but I was doing it now, but
Okay.
sometimes it wouldn't do this. It wouldn't find that, because this would be off somewhere.
So the
So
way
I'd
that
have-
you
I'd
originally,
have to take this and pull it back, and then, because it's the other pipe. Then I'd have to go back and try to find, and it was like, would hardly ever find the pipe, it would find this pipe, which is not doing now, of course.
so it kind of depends on how how you're drawing and breaking the connecting pipe. So if you undo a few steps to where you just had the piping crossing one another, two segments, if you select the branch line with the main and tell the program to run cleanup intersections, it's gonna, okay, so we still have that broken. Yeah, let's undo one more step, two more, there we go. So until that branch line pipe is broken at the cross main, the program's not gonna break or add outlets, because it says, well, hey, there's nothing there. That pipe doesn't break, it's continuous across this main. But if we select the line at the same time, then the program says, well, hey, this line needs to be broken based on fab standard settings, and once this line is broken, now I've got two pipe endpoints that terminate at the intersection of this cross main. I also need to place outlets.
Okay. Maybe that's the problem I was having. I was always selecting all three pieces, or both pieces. So if I go in here and change this branch line to groove, just like I did here,
Yes, sir.
it kicks in this ignore smart pipes.
Yes, sir.
And I usually always leave that, because before, if I take them back off, the program just like goes nuts.
Well, so what it's doing here, you're telling the program in this T group, which is traditionally used for threaded pipe, you're telling the program to use a different end prep than you've established in the T group for this
Right.
diameter pipe.
Right.
So if you truly want this branch line to be grooved, better than instead of changing the end preps and ignoring smart pipe, you would be better off changing the pipe group from T to W. There you go. So you get the same result, but now we're not ignoring smart pipes. We can still utilize smart pipe logic, but we're getting the end preps that we're desiring, as well as potentially the same material. And that's something you will want to check. That W group, it may have changed that pipe material in the line to SCED 10, which may or may not be appropriate. Sometimes people they need to use thicker walled pipe. They want to use grooved end SCED 40 pipe.
Yeah.
But again,
sometimes we're stacked that way.
Sure,
So-
absolutely. So again, just something to be aware of, that depending on the pipe group that you want to utilize, you may need to adjust material assignment to that particular pipe group. But
Yeah.
you're gonna be a lot happier in the end if you're utilizing and changing the pipe groups versus changing end preps and ignoring smart pipe.
Okay. Because I'm going to create a couple of new groups
Sure.
right here. We do a lot of mega flow and mega thread pipe,
Gotcha.
a lot of gridded systems that are all grooved, mains and branch lines.
Sure.
So, okay. So, if I did change this the other way like I did when it clicks this ignore smart pipes,
Mm-hmm.
what is it not doing that it should do?
Well, it's not going to. You're going to be restricting any sort of potentially any sort of automatic updates to this pipe property. So basically, you're telling the program, don't look at fab standards for this piece of pipe. So any changes you want to make to this pipe, you're going to have to manually make those changes. The program is not going to automatically apply smart pipe logic from your fabrication standard settings to this piece of pipe.
Does that include, like, if this pipe had couplings on it, and I changed this, if I'd already changed the tier and it said ignore, I change this pipe size, does it change the pipe coupling?
So fitting harmonization is not necessarily the same as smart pipe logic. That's would be fitting harmonization settings. And while sometimes they're kind of they're related to one another, they're not necessarily the same function. So smart pipe is specifically for pipe. So if you increase the diameter of that pipe, let's say you decided, okay, well, this actually needs to be a main, I need to increase the size. Increasing the size of that pipe and running a cleanup intersection is not going to change it to a cross main. So one of the great things about smart pipe logic is that you can adjust pipe diameter, run a cleanup intersection. The program will look at smart pipe logic and say, oh, this exceeds the minimum branch line diameter. I need to change this to a cross main. It'll change the type, it'll change the color, it'll change the material, it'll change the end preps automatically for you, so you don't have to go through those steps.
Yeah. I just cleaned up this main after I changed the size to 1.25 inches, and then it changed the outlet bendness coupling when I did the auto cleanup.
Excellent.
So, okay.
So yeah, I mean, we certainly don't recommend ever ignoring smart pipe. If there's a way to continue to utilize smart pipe and get the results you want, that's the best approach by far.
Yeah, that's why I want to create these new categories for MegaFlow. So
sure.